Welcome to the Strictly Free Game Podcast. I'm Sean Waller, also known as Sean Your Realtor. Whatever you want to call me, just make sure you call me. Today, I'm trying to find out how I can introduce her because Kat is everywhere. First and foremost, this is the first time we met each other.
Yes.
I don't know how that's even possible.
I know.
Right? But we've been following each other on social media, so I feel like I know already. Miss Katherine Azeez. Did I say it right? Aziz?
Aziz. There you go.
Got it the second time. Miss Katherine Azeez. Kat, please introduce yourself. If they don't know you, let them know.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Sean, for having me. My name is Katherine Azeez. I am a licensed real estate agent with ERA Top Service Realty. I've been a full-time agent for about 5 years now, almost 5 years. In January, it's going to be 5. So it's been quite a journey, but I love what I do. I love helping people. And, now this year I said, I'm going to give myself more opportunities to be in front of the camera.
Okay.
So here we are. I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm excited. I've been waiting for this one for a little bit. I'm excited. So you've been full-time for 5 years?
Yes.
Okay. What did you do before real estate, and what made you get into real estate?
Good question. So I started 5 years ago. Before I started real estate, I was in a corporate background, I guess you can say. When I went to school, I studied business, so I got my degree in human resources. So naturally, I just got a job in human resources. I worked for a bank for about 2 years, and then after that, I kind of was looking for more growth. So then that's when I switched jobs and I went to, similar field. I was in the payroll consulting field at that point.
Okay.
And then after switching in hopes of more opportunities, more growth, I realized that I just don't think this is the path for me to pursue the type of growth that I wanted. So I thought about it, and even at the time when I started it, I was like 24 years old when I was thinking, I'm like going through like a quarter life crisis, I guess you could say, because I'm like, what am I doing? Like, what path am I going to go on? What career do I want to pursue? HR, it's a great career, but it just, at the time, I didn't think it was for me. So that's kind of when I started looking into sales, because at that point, I'm like, there's no ceiling.
Yep.
As much as I put into it, that's when I want to get out. So I got into real estate. Actually, funny enough, I happen to have known for my first job, my manager at the time, his brother-in-law was in real estate at ERA.
Okay.
So
at the same brokerage you're at now?
At the same brokerage. So
Okay.
he was the one that brought me in. So he was like, if this is something that you're considering, why don't you come and meet with, my team at ERA? And I met with the current broker right now, and the rest is pretty much history. I mean, I'm so happy that I gave it an opportunity, and now we're here.
That's amazing. That's amazing. So you're going through your quarter life crisis, right?
That's what we'll call it.
That's what we'll call it. I like that. I admire that because I remember when I was at that same crossroads around the same age, it took me forever to make that transition over.
Yeah.
So what made you say, all right, this is the path I'm going to go, right? Like 24 years old, like you said, you were bouncing around, right? Careers, trying to advance yourself. What made you say, all right, real estate is going to be the thing for me? You
know what? I'm a little crazy because when I met with Melissa, who's our broker, and at the time that's who I met with, we had the meeting and I wasn't full-time then. I had taken the 75-hour course. I got my license. I was going into the office as often as I could, but I didn't really know. I didn't have a background in real estate, so I had no clue. But then I decided to just quit my full-time job at the time, and I was like, what? If I'm going to do this, let me just give it my all.
Okay.
Give it my full attention, my 150%, and that's kind of what I did. And once I understood that this is what I want to do, I kind of just took that leap of faith, and I just made sure that everything that I did going forward was just, putting in 100% effort. I had one client when I first started.
Okay.
I had one client that I was like, day and night, it was just about that one client, sending houses, any house that popped up on the market that fit their criteria. I'm like, let's go check it out. Let's do this. So I really just focused in on that one person. When I was able to get that one person to the closing table, it did take a few months. But once I went to that closing table, I saw how happy they were, how the transaction had a few bumps, but we got there and how happy they were and how happy and satisfied I felt that I was able to help somebody, that's when it was like, this is what I want to do.
This is what you want to do? I like that. So, all right. So what advice would you get? Because you said you decided to go full in, right? Most people say that you should have a nest egg. Did you give yourself that cushion? And did you give yourself a timeline? Like, I have to close something between this window and that window to make this work?
I did. I gave myself a year. I said, listen, give yourself a full year. I thought about it prior to getting in. I'm like, at a minimum, I want to make sure that I have enough savings, that I'm not going into this like blindly, and I'm not going to, make any, if I didn't make a dime that year, fine.
Okay.
I just wanted to see if I liked it, see if I enjoyed it, see if I was going to be able to actually make this into a career path for myself. And so I had reserves. But yeah, I quickly started realizing as I kept going through the process, even with the hiccups that came, like, this is what I like. Like, I like that problem solving aspect of things. I like being able to help people get from point A to point Z. I like being able to negotiate and help somebody really, get something that they want and being a part of that process for somebody. So I quickly realized that this is definitely it.
Yeah, this is it.
This is it. And it was after the fact of like me quitting that job. I feel like if I did both, I wouldn't have realized it as quickly as I did.
Okay. All right. So this was so 5 years in, what year was this? So this was
That was a few months in. That was like, so I got my license in September of 2017.
Okay.
2018 in January I went full time.
Oh wow, that quick.
Yeah, so it was.
Oh wow, okay.
And I remember both. I have two mentors in this business, the Naz who brought me in, and Melissa who's our current broker, and they were like, Kat, don't do it. Don't quit your job. Make sure you have things in the pipeline. Like they were being, they were acting in my best interest.
Yeah.
Because it's hard. It's hard to get your footing when you first start in this business, and I heard it. I did. I have a problem with listening sometimes, but I did hear it. But yeah, I kind of just took that leap of faith. I know myself, and I know that if I give it my all, I know that most times, luckily for me, but like most times it does work out.
It works out.
Yeah.
When did you start seeing the traction? Because you said you were working with that one client for a while. How long would you say it took for you to close that first deal?
So for that first person, I said I would think like all in all probably about 5 months.
Okay.
Yeah, from like house hunting to finding something to getting to the closing table, maybe 6 months, 6 months for sure.
And you concentrated on that one client for 6 months?
Initially, it was that one client, and then, I started posting. I started using social media at the time to, and I didn't even think of it as any type of marketing, like, I'm putting it on social media because I wanted it to. I liked it. Obviously, I grew up with social media, so it was one of those things where it was just so natural.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm just showing a house, so let me record what I'm doing on my daily basis. But so through that, like from that one person, I'm showing what houses we're seeing. Other people are like, oh wow, that house is really nice. They're giving commentary now.
Nice.
And I was able to kind of grab through social media other people that were interested, at least even like having that initial conversation with them and keeping that going. Eventually those turned into clients in the future. Or people would be like, oh, I see you're showing this house. I know somebody that might be, that's thinking about buying. Can I give them your info?
Nice.
Yes,
Okay.
Please.
All right. Yeah. So that's free promotion. That's amazing. So I was going to ask you about your strategy, because I see Kat everywhere, right? If you follow Kat is in like Scarsdale. She's in all the way out in Long Island. I'm like, how the hell is she doing all of this? What is your strategy? Are you working more with buyers right now? Are you working more with sellers? Yeah, what's the Kat game plan?
Yeah, no, that's I always say I don't discriminate. Whoever wants to do business with me, I'm happy to do business with you. I predominantly work with buyers and sellers. Okay. Occasionally you'll see my rentals like every now and again, but it's mostly buyers and sellers. I am definitely probably more buyer heavy, but listings they're coming in. They're coming in. I'm starting to build that that portfolio up a little bit more with that, but definitely more buyer heavy. And I always say I'm not necessarily like I don't stay in one neighborhood. Yeah. I'm not like, okay, my office is in Queens, so I'm just targeting Queens. For me, it's like if you're serious and you're realistic, I'm going to work with you regardless of where you want to go. If I'm licensed there, I'm going to work with you.
Nice.
So that's why you kind of see me like all over. It's like sometimes, you know, I can be in Hicksville and then next thing you know, I'm back in Jamaica.
Yeah,
In the same day. And then now, you know, in Brooklyn or whatever it is. So it really depends on, you know, what the client's looking for. And
nice.
as long as I can service it, I'm going to service you.
Yeah, I see that. I'm like, damn, Yonkers. I'm like, all right, cat. That's what I like. I like that. That's dope. What 2020 pandemic? Because I heard the story. I've been paying attention. I heard the story. 2020 was a crazy year for all of us. And you said you are pretty much, well, you're both right now, but you were pretty much probably more buyer heavy. But you closed a lot of buyer transactions in 2020.
Yes.
How many buyer transactions? Do you know off the top of your head how many you closed?
For 2020, maybe, so for between 2020 and 21, I guess like you can, I definitely sold probably about like 25, between 20 to 25 houses.
Buyers. On the buyers line.
You're talking about just buyers. Okay, if I did like 25, maybe like 18 of them were buyers.
All right, and that was a crazy market to be, for 18 buyers, that's a lot. What was your strategy? How would you get in those buyers, or if offers accepted, do you deal with mostly first-time home buyers, FHA? Are they going more conventional? How did you make it happen?
So during that time, a lot of my in general, a lot of my buyers are first-time home buyers. Most of the clients that if I do have, like it's a second-time home, it's probably repeats.
Okay.
And that's the crazy part. Like, you know, you can sell somebody a house 5 years ago and then maybe, you know, things change, situations change in life. So a lot of the times, like I've sold people, like I'm working with somebody right now that actually, funny enough, that first client that we spoke about, I sold them a house, a 2-family in Limbrook. Okay. And now we're looking for their second house.
Really?
Currently, because I started off with them and they had 1 baby boy and now they're on their 4th child. So we need
fourth child. They've been busy.
We need a bigger house.
All right. Are they keeping the first one as like an investment property? It was a 2-family. You said, right?
It's a 2-family. They do want to keep it as an investment home.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
But you still didn't give me the game plan.
Yes. No.
So
I
what
didn't
was the
give you
strategy?
So
She didn't want to give us the secrets. I'm getting it. I'm going to get it.
No, definitely. So the strategy behind that, I guess, most of my clientele does come from social media. I'm forever grateful for Instagram because I feel like that platform really kind of like projected me in a really good direction for myself.
Same.
So I'm always grateful. I always say, you know, my Instagram followers, the people that I have, like I always try to interact with people as much as I can, just because you never know. Like a simple, if I give you like a heart eye emoji just because you went out and, you know, you posted a nice pic, like that simple thing can have a conversation. And, you know, it takes you from just an emoji to helping them buy a house.
Yeah.
So it's a funny thing. But yeah, most of my strategy on how I'm getting buyers is from Instagram. And now I'm on TikTok, so hopefully, you know, that's
TikTok is a different animal though, right?
It is.
TikTok is such
TikTok's savage.
It is. It really is. I got my first like hater comment on TikTok. I was like, damn, all right. It's like a 13-year-old that like told me I didn't know what I was talking about my job. I'm like, all right.
No, 100%. Like I just started kind of posting on TikTok. Okay. But and it's like, you know, you post, and then it's like one of the videos, the one that you probably didn't even think was gonna go, you know, viral or whatever, and it's like 45,000 hits. Yeah. And, you know, it's one of those things, but I feel like Instagram has definitely been an amazing platform for me to get most of my clientele. I am trying to, you know, utilize TikTok a little bit more, but just getting back to it, I feel like I owe most of my business to Instagram because most of my clients do really come from that. And then if I get referrals, it's people that came from Instagram. That's like, I work with Kat, you know, trust me, here's her profile, follow her, just, you know, listen to what she says. You're in good hands with Kat. So I always appreciate, you know.
No, Instagram is a great tool. It's a great tool. I utilize it a lot for business. It actually helped me within I started really doing the social media stuff like 2 years ago. And since I started it, that's when business really took off. So I get it. It makes sense. You spoke about your mentors.
Yes.
I think mentorship is very important in this business, right? What should someone look for when they're looking for a mentor? Because you have 2. That's rare.
Yeah.
You have 2. So, and do they give you 2 totally different styles of techniques of what to do, or?
Yeah. You know what? Yes, you can say that. It's because, well, one of my mentors, he's mostly like REOs. Okay. So that's his portfolio. He deals with the banks and all that good stuff. So, and then my other mentor, Melissa, who's our broker, I mean, I really look towards her for advice and, educational purposes as well, because she's very well-rounded when it comes to real estate. She's been in the business for, a million years.
Yeah.
but she's amazing, and I admire her. I really do. And I feel like that's important. You always want to look up to the person that you want mentorship from, right? You want to see the value that they are able to provide to the people that they're working with. And that's something that I always look for. So not only am I looking for somebody that has the value of education and understands different aspects of whatever business you're in, I'm also looking for somebody that's going to be relatable, that I'm actually going to sit there, they'll sit there and answer your late night texts and call. I think that's super important. And really just to be there and support you, even when, things aren't real estate, it's a roller coaster ride, I always say. So it's super important who your support system is, because that's the people that are going to help you get through it.
They can make or break you.
Yeah.
They can definitely make or break you. Actually, I've stumbled on Melissa's page a couple of times. Melissa's dope. I like Melissa.
Yeah.
She's very educational. She seems very, very down to earth.
Super down to earth. She's always she's not scared to share the knowledge that she has. And I feel like sometimes people, sometimes people want to hold things to themselves because, that's their advantage, right? But she's like a free-for-all. It's like if you go to her and you need help with something, she's going to help you.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. So what strategy, have you changed any of your strategies for the past 2 years? Because like I said, pandemic, that was just like run and gun, do what you have to do, you get in the door, figure it out. Yeah. Have you changed your strategy at all going forward? And what are you projecting for your strategy to be in the next year or two?
So, I mean, we spoke about social media, and I feel like that was just for me, I guess I can just, it was just straightforward, no real purpose behind it. You'll see, okay, yeah, I'll post a really nice house, things like that. But I feel like more so now my strategy is really just to start promoting more value in my content, more educational content as to, what the process is like, what are some of the hardships that you can probably face during a process, the things that people probably won't talk about. I want people to know about that, because I feel like the more you can know about something, the more value you have, and the easier your decisions are going to be, the easier you can make a decision in a very difficult process, right? So I feel like educating people as much as you can with one of the largest purchases that someone's going to make in their life, that's huge. So really just strategizing on what kind of content I want to put out there, how I want to put it out, and really just targeting more of the masses, I guess.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. You have the style, you have the look. I can see Kat taking over the gram. I can definitely see you doing that. Your brokerage is in Queens. Do you market yourself around the area where your brokerage is, or do you basically market yourself if you close a deal in, I don't know, Scarsdale, do you target that area? What strategy are you using for that type of marketing?
So wherever I close a property in, I try to, as soon as I close it, you're gonna see my face on postcards. Okay. I'm gonna do a little bit of door knocking. If I get a list, I'm gonna do a lot of door knocking. If I have a listing, I'm door knocking in that area. I'm farming that area as much as I can when I get it, and as much as I can when I close it.
There you go.
And that's the same thing kind of during the process too. Even, when I get something under contract, one of the good things about my office is that we send out postcards. So, this house just went under contract in your area, and we'll do it in a few mile radiuses of wherever that house is.
Smart.
So sometimes, oftentimes, even, I sold a house in St. Albans earlier this year, and we closed on the house in St. Albans. I sent out postcards. The house, 2 or 3 doors down, got my postcard and was like, I'm looking to sell too.
Oh,
so I got the listing too.
There you go. Oh man, so I have a funny story about that. During the pandemic, I wasn't circle prospecting the way I probably should have. And literally the house next door to my listing went up, and I was heartbroken. It went up 3 days later. I was like, oh man. It was yeah. So circle prospecting is definitely the way to go when it comes to that stuff. I was talking to Alex earlier on our way here. We was talking about the power of having a CRM. You have a CRM, right?
Yes, we do.
Okay. Are you doing more drip campaigns? Or are you, because that's what I started doing a little bit more now
Yeah.
too. Drip campaigns, just a bunch of, what am I looking for? E-blast, like anything you can think of. Have you started going more into that strategy as well?
I'm trying. I definitely see the value there because that's huge. Staying in touch with people as much as you can, like the people that you've closed with. That's something that I am trying to implement. Like even, the people that I've sold houses to or I've sold their homes to, I still want them to be a part of my process. Like, so you're probably, those people are probably going to be sick of me at a certain point, but it's like, I want you to know, like, even though I just sold you a house in Valley Stream, even if I closed on it or I'm under contract on a house in Scarsdale, I still want you to know that I service that area.
Yeah.
So, I feel like those types of things, it's good to just people, to let people know that you're still in the business and, you're out there in different areas as well, because you never know that person that I sold the house to. Maybe they have a friend that's looking in Westchester or looking in, Suffolk County, and oh, my realtor, she sold me a house here, but she's also there. So, so I think that's huge. I definitely am trying to, broaden that a little bit more and start doing drip campaigns like that as well. But
because sometimes out of sight, out of mind.
point.
Listen, you'd be out of sight, out of mind. And like you said, some people could think, oh, maybe she only works in Valley Stream. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Makes sense. Listen, Kat, this is, like I said, this is a long time coming. I'm really appreciating this conversation. I'm trying to think if I'm forgetting anything. If you could start over, right? Because 5 years, I'm pretty sure went by like that. If you could start over, what would you implement back then that would help you out now?
I would probably be in front of the camera a lot sooner.
Okay.
Then I feel like, I feel like social media is so huge.
Yeah.
And being able to do what you're doing and to do what we're doing, it's not easy.
No.
I've shied away from this so long.
I can't believe that. You said that, but I feel like I always see you posting.
I know, but it's not necessarily like, face-to-face camera talking, like how we're talking now. Like I post a lot. Like I'll post where I'm at. I'll post like little silly videos sometimes, but it's nothing, like in my opinion, it's not as substantial as what I'm trying to, I guess, put forward right now. But yeah, just to, put myself out there earlier on in the game, I feel like that's a game changer. So anybody that's looking to get into the business now or that's just starting, I get a lot of messages that, people go on my page and they're like, oh, your page is so nice. Like, do you have any tips for me? I'm just starting in the business. And it's like, put yourself out there. You utilize social media, really take that and run with it, because the more people know about, the more that people can know about yourself and what you do and what you can offer, that's the biggest amount of leverage you can have.
Yeah, without a doubt. That's why I tell some people don't even separate your pages. Some people have a business page and a personal page. I'm like, don't do that, because you don't want to seem like business all day and people don't know who you really are.
That's a great point, because a lot of times I feel that was a conversation piece when I first started. That was a big question. Should I separate it or not? For me, I'm like, listen, you're gonna at the time I was 25, so I'm like, listen, if you're working with me, you're gonna know that I'm a 25-year-old girl. I also do real estate, so you're gonna get a mix of both, right? You're gonna get the real, and I want people to know the real me.
Yeah,
right?
Of course.
I want them to know that, okay, yeah, I'm going out with my friends, and then guess what? The next morning, I'm still gonna be out bright and early showing you that house.
And people want to see that. To be completely honest, your clients want to see that you're a real person. Yeah, I'm working with somebody that's actually real. Yeah, listen, that's what I wanted to hear. I'm glad you said that, because I still have the same conversation with people recently that say, no, I want to separate the page. I'm like, don't separate your pages. One, is a pain in the ass to keep up with.
Yeah.
And why?
And it's like you already have your audience, right? I told myself at that time, I'm like, okay, maybe at 24, 25 years old, people aren't necessarily buying a house right now. But guess what? If I continue to post and I continue to put out what kind of value I want to put out there, people, when they do decide that one day I want to buy a house, who are they going to think of? The person that's always posting about real estate. And that's why I do what I do.
Yep.
Right? So I think, basically this entire conversation. Social media
Social
is
media.
it. That's
Yeah.
what we have to do.
And I'm glad you said, listen, like you said, social media is your age. Like you grew up on social media.
Yeah.
So it's pretty much easier, I guess, easier for someone like you more than me, to try to keep up with the trends and all of that good stuff.
But you're killing it.
I'm trying to. I have
You
this
are.
guy. This guy behind the lenses actually helped me out. Because this is not my natural thing at all. I have no pictures from my teenage years. That's how bad it is. No, because I hate to be in front of the camera. You won top 20 under 40. I almost forgot to mention that. That's a big
Oh,
deal.
thank you.
Let's talk about that. For
Yeah.
people that don't know, what exactly is that?
So top 20 under 40, basically, you submit an application for it. They, based on your credentials of gross commission income, how well versed you are in real estate, how many transactions you've closed. That's pretty much how they decipher out. And I mean, a lot of people submit applications.
There's a lot of applications.
I don't necessarily know the amount, but I mean, it's a pretty tough process to, I guess, like decipher out because there's so many good people. There's a lot of agents in the industry, right?
Yeah.
Out of all those people, I mean, there's a lot that don't do business either. But there's also a lot of killers out there that they do really well.
Yeah.
So it's really an honor to have been selected to get that. But I'm very happy.
No, listen, and I love to see, especially a Queens girl. I'm like, yeah, they finally let the boroughs in there. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, no, definitely. That was funny because my broker was like, you should submit something. You should, and I'm like, of course, me. I'm like, the day before the deadline was, that's when I submitted it.
Oh yeah, did you?
Yeah, and I was like, okay, let's see what happens.
Where were you when you found out?
I just landed in Jamaica.
Really?
I was on vacation, so I just landed, and then John McSherry gave me a call, and I was like, hey, sorry, my reception's horrible right now, so if you can't hear me, I just landed or whatever. And he was like, I'm just calling to let you know that, you've been selected for top 20 under 40. I was like, this is the best news I could have heard. I just landed, I'm on vacation, tonight's gonna be a good night.
Yeah, there you go. Did you celebrate that night?
We did, yes.
There you go. Speaking of John McSherry, shout out to John McSherry because we're actually shooting at one of his flips today in Brooklyn. His brownstone is amazing.
Beautiful.
Beautiful. Super. I don't know the exact price, but it's beautiful. This island is off the hook. John, I appreciate you. Thank you for letting us sit down and stand up and have this conversation, whatever we're doing. Thank you for letting us do it. I'm trying to think what else I got for Kat, man. I think that's it. I think she answered pretty much everything I have for it, Alex. I think she had everything. Do you want to add anything? Do you want to leave them with anything that they should know about you?
What do you want to know? What do I want the world to know about Kat? I think that if I had to leave here saying one thing, a lot of times people look at me face value. And what do you think? How old do you think I am?
Under 30 for sure.
Okay.
I would say probably 28.
Okay. I mean, I'm 29. So
okay.
You're right on the ballpark. A lot of times people think that I'm a lot younger than I am. I get the sweet, I have a very nice, sweet face,
But she's a killer though.
And I am all those things for 100%.
Yeah.
But there's also the other side of Kat that's I can get aggressive when I need to when it comes to negotiations. That's a different Kat. When I need to get something done for my client, we take all measures necessary to make sure that gets done. So I feel like, yes, I'm young, but at the same time, I'm aggressive. And whatever needs to happen for my clients to be happy, that's what's going to happen.
There you go.
Yeah.
Do you ever get pushback from other agents because they think you're so young? Like older agents that are in the business?
A lot.
Really?
Yeah. A lot of times I walk in and they'll be like, is the agent here? And I'm like, I'm the agent. Thank you. Here's my card. I'm the agent.
That happens to me sometimes too, which is weird.
And it's just like, and I'll be like, heels.
Suited up and everything,
suited
right?
up and everything. And it's like, and they're like, oh my God. You look, and especially with the mask, when the mask it was a little different, but even without it, it's like, you're so young. And I'm like, I know, I'm like, thank you. I look young. I'm not that young, but I appreciate it. I'll take it.
Yeah. Well, at least you know she's a beast. Like, she may look young, but she's a beast. She gets busy. Yeah, Kat, I appreciate it. Let them know how to get in touch with you before we forget that part.
Yes. So if you want to get in touch with Kat, feel free to follow me on social media. On Instagram and TikTok, you can reach me at Closing with Kat. And then, as usual, you can always send me a text or give me a call, 718-736-4009.
There you go. Kat?
The music question?
Oh, yes, thank you. My man.
I love
see?
music. What are we talking
There
about?
you go.
Music? Yeah.
So, I've been ending this podcast. I appreciate you, bro. I almost did that, and I would have felt that going home. I would have like, I didn't ask Kat that question. I've been ending this podcast with a different question. I'm a little older, but I'm a hip hop guy, right?
Okay.
80s baby. I know that may sound old. I'm born in the 80s. 80s baby, but hip hop raised me, right? If you could bottle, do you like music?
Yes.
It doesn't have to be hip hop. I always tell people it could be reggae. It could be whatever you're into. If you could pick an era, right, or an artist or a song that defines Kat, what would that be?
Oh, that defines me. Okay, I'll tell you. The music that I most resonate to is definitely anything in 90s. 90s
Okay.
R&B.
90s R&B.
Even on my ride here.
Okay.
Like my playlist, it's like 90s R&B, 90s rap, or like 2000s, early 2000s. I don't know. I've just been kind of like, I guess
That's my favorite era, though. That's my favorite era.
I feel like I'll know all the words to the songs. It's comfort music. So it's like whenever I need to be like at peace, I listen to, I kind of go
Who's
back
that
to old school.
artist, though? Who's that artist that Kat is going to
Oh,
on
my
the playlist?
goodness.
Like my day it's been a day. It's been one of those days. I need some motivation.
Motivation music. That's a really good question. I'll just throw on the playlist and it's like, I'm into like Mario for sure.
Okay.
Even like I was listening to Genuine before I got here. Like
Genuine,
those are not
okay.
necessarily motivational. It's just that's my like comfort zone.
Yeah.
If I want to get like pumped up, I'm probably listening to like soca music.
Okay.
I'm Guyanese for those who don't know. So, soca kind of runs in my blood.
There you go.
Soca, reggae. But yeah, I'm eclectic. Like honestly, anything that is I'm not really as versed in rap, I'll be honest. I used to be.
Which is fine.
I
Yeah.
used to be. Like when I was younger, I just feel like that kind of just like fell off. My sister, she's big on rap. She likes like J. Cole and all that stuff. So she's always sending me these songs and I'm like, they sound really good. And I never, but I don't really.
Your sister's older?
She's 11 months younger than I am.
11 months younger. Okay. That's considered Irish twins, they call
Irish
that, right?
twins, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. All right.
I always say, I'm like, she's my baby sister. Even though she's only 11, like, we literally grew up. We went to school in the same classes. We went to kindergarten at the same time, all the way up
Really?
to college. And we went to college together.
Wow. Okay. Wow. All right. So soca music is what's getting you there. All right. I'm gonna switch the question a little bit different.
Okay.
Because I know we always have a little something. You're going on a listening presentation today.
Okay.
You're in the car.
Yeah.
You need there's two agents in front of you, and it's like I gotta get this listening. What are you throwing on to get you in that mood?
To get me in that mood. Honestly, when I need to be in a mode, I need to sing something where I know all the lyrics.
Okay.
I'm probably going
Karaoke Kat. Okay.
I'm probably going to like Mariah Carey or something where I can just like scream.
You just
like,
need to get it out.
Yeah, exactly. Like that pretty much puts me in my element. As long as like I'm listening to something that I can like verbatim like spit to you.
I can see that. I
Yeah,
can hear that.
and I'm just like in my zone. That's really all
There you go.
So.
I like that. I'm kind of the same way. Like if I get a song stuck in my head, I have to listen to it and like have the whole song. I have to say the whole song word for word to get out of my head. I like that. All right, so Kat is listening to soca. She's listening to Mariah Carey when she's in the mood to get that listed. So if you hear outside your house blasting that, she's getting a listed. Kat, I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming by. This was amazing.
Yes.
I think you're my first Queens person.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, thank you. I feel honored, honestly.
Yeah. Queens is in the building.
Queens in the
I
building.
like that. Even though we're in Brooklyn, but Queens is definitely in the building. I
love
appreciate
it.
you, Kat. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit the notification button, all of that good stuff. I'm Sean Wilder, also known as Sean Your Realtor. Call me, whatever you want to call me, just make sure you call me. We out here.
I love it.